Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We just got through filming a video that you've probably already seen about taking care of your CFMOTOs or any ATV or side-by-side. But now I want to give my review after owning the UFORCE 1000 for a while. This is a 2021 model, UFORCE 1000. You've seen me do a build on it. Added a lot of CFMOTO accessories as well as Super ATV accessories, and I got all these things from Main Street Cycle, even the tires and wheels. I've only got 160 miles on the UFORCE. This thing's brand new still. It's got 31.7 hours. I've done the break-in oil change. My overall, here's I guess some things that I love about it. One thing, it is very comfortable for a utility machine. Very wide seats that allows even, you know, there's only 3 seat belts, but when I'm in the yard or just riding around at the campground or even at the park, I can safely squeeze me, my 2 little girls who is 6 and 4, and my wife in here, and we can just cruise around, you know, especially in the yard, very safely. We feel secure in it, and it's comfortable. It's easy to get in and out of. Of course, these doors also make it easy as well, but the interior, super nice. I love the layout. It is, yes, it's very similar to the Polaris Ranger 1000 and the Canam Defender 1000 as far as the interior space, the seating position, the comfort. It's all very similar, which those brands I just said are the top dogs, and I'm just as comfortable and just as impressed with the UFORCE 1000 as the Canam Defender HD10 and the Polaris Ranger 1000 XP. You've seen us do a shootout against the Ranger, and this thing could hang with it as far as your power in low gear, and as far as speed and all those things. It's right there with the top dogs. So there's plenty of power. The functionality of this machine is just as good. It's got a huge dump bed. We love that. Big handle here for your tailgate. It's all feels solid. The machine looks good. It's just as big as an area as the Ranger and the Defender, but it's so much cheaper. But just as good quality. I love the big 2-inch receiver hitch. You can pull a trailer and all that. The competition has that as well, but here we have it for a much cheaper price. The suspension components, the A-arms, the bushings, the axles, I mean, we haven't had any problems. It's all real beefy and very well made. The brakes are excellent. CFMOTO brakes last forever, much longer than the competition. People complain about squeaky brakes, but I'm telling you, if you just clean out your brake pads after every ride, you won't have no problems. Let's talk about something I don't like. Two things I could say after owning it that I don't like about it is the touchy throttle response. We've addressed this several times, but like I said, I have adapted and gotten used to it. You just have to have foot control, just like with the Honda Pioneer 1000. They had the same problem. Real touchy, real jumpy. If your foot isn't like if you have short legs and you can't rest your heel on the floorboard and you hit a bump or rut and your foot just oscillates onto the throttle, it's going to start bucking. It's just the nature of the beast. But at the same time, that is a playful characteristic that I like about it. I mean, when you touch the throttle, she's spinning the tires, and so that's fun for recreational purposes. Now, if you put a load on the machine, if you have a lot of load in the bed, or if you're pulling a trailer, that load helps make that touchy, jerky spot not as noticeable because it's holding it back. So that's the only con I could say. I adapted to it, so it's not really a con anymore. But if my wife drives it or a friend drives it, the first thing they notice when they put it in gear, especially low gear, high gear is smooth, but low gear, boy, it's touchy. They'll touch the gas and they'll grin and laugh because it will jerk them. But you just have to get used to that part. What was another one? Well, I guess that's a good thing. I can't think of the other con, but I think there's one more. I'm trying to think of it. Okay, now this is a problem that was in the Honda Pioneer as well. Not so much in the Polaris Ranger or the Can-Am, because I had a Canam Defender as well, but I'll show them this. The engine is mounted in the rear under the bed, but in the summer you will notice heat rising up between the butt of the seat and the back of the seat. A lot of heat from the engine cab area tends to come up into the cab, especially if you have a rear windshield and a front windshield. You're going to get toasty. Your back is going to be sweating during the summer, especially if you're in the south. I have a couple ideas for fixes for that, and I think you could get creative. Don't let that be something that keeps you from buying the machine. This thing is several $1,000s cheaper than the competition and just as good. So there's some things, just like Honda did with the Pioneer 1000 back in 2018. They released a cabin comfort recall. I'm not saying CFMOTO is going to do that, but you can do this. You can go in, take up the seats and get under there, and all that Honda did was added a extra layer of reflective heat shield and insulation. It was very thin, but it made a big difference. So maybe that's something that you could do with your U-Force if you get that and that's actually an issue. If you're in the colder climate, especially in the northern states and stuff, it's not going to bother you, because actually it'll be very welcomed in the wintertime. So that's the only two things I don't like about it. If I had to come up with something, would be a little bit of cabin heat. It's nothing like the cabin heat in a Can-Am Commander, the older Can-Am Commander. Those were real bad about it. And any of the, like the Kawasaki Tourex that has the engine up in between the seats, even the old Z-Force styles like the 800 and stuff, they can cause a little bit of heat in the cab because the engine is a little bit closer in between the seats. But this one, that's the only things I noticed. Touchy throttle, which is good and bad, and a little bit of heat comes up from the engine cab. Everything else I love about it. I love that you can put 30-inch tires, no problems. I love the accessories that CFMOTO has for it. Super ATV is constantly coming out with stuff for the U-Force, as well as other manufacturers. We got the Super ATV flip out windshield. I love that. You can get it at Main Street Cycle, get 10% off if you mention Real Talk Power Sports. The doors as well, fit great. Super ATV doors, looks good, easy to get in and out of, very nice. Got a CFMOTO speaker system, the Nerf bars to step up into. I like it, man. It's fun on the trails. It's great for utility purposes. Get the job done with the U-Force, save you a lot of money. I like this unit. So that's my review after just having it for, I've had it for a while, but I just haven't got to drive it a whole bunch. Haven't even hit 200 miles yet. We have done the break-in service on it. I've got 32 hours on it, so you can tell I've done a lot more slow riding, idling, because there's more hours than miles in my case as far as the ratio goes. It's been great, no issues. I've taken it to the mud parks. We've drove it around at the campground. We've used it for working purposes, hauling people around, joy riding, no issues. So only time will tell, I guess, but so far she's strong as all get out and I love it. So if you're looking to buy a utility machine, I highly recommend the CFMOTO UForce 1000. Check out Main Street Cycle if you can. They're worth the drive. You can get your machine there. They're the #1 dealership in the nation still, and they keep a good inventory, or they're trying to get them in constantly. You can also get tons of accessories at Main Street Cycle for your UForce or any of your CFMOTO lineup. Great unit, guys. So more to come very soon. God bless y'all. As always, remember to keep it real. We'll see you in the next one.